Heavy security around Enniskillen and the nearby Lochside Golf Hotel ahead of tomorrow's summit. Thousands of police deployed and miles of razor wire, literally a ring of steel. Given Northern Ireland's history, gathering G8 leaders here is inevitably a risk, but fears of local trouble isn't the only reason for tension. The widening chasm between Russia and the West over Syria has raised the stakes at this summit. In Downing Street this afternoon, the greeting was friendly enough, but the Russian president's smile looked strained. At this G8, Russia is more or less isolated, insisting on backing the Syrian president, while Western powers talk of direct military help for the opposition.
I believe that Assad is responsible for tearing his country apart, and that to end Syria's nightmare, he has to go. The new evidence this week of how the regime is gassing its people makes that clearer than ever.
But how could the West back the opposition, asked an infuriated Mr. Putin, when some rebels seem prepared to cannibalise their victims, at least according to one internet video.
And there's always a question, who is to be blamed for that? Who is to blame? I believe you will not deny the fact that one hardly should back those who kills their enemies and eat their organs and all that is filmed and shot. Do you want to support these people? Do you want to supply arms to these people?
You can see there are very big differences between the analysis we have of what happened in Syria and who is to blame. But where there is common ground is we both see a humanitarian catastrophe. We both see the dangers of instability and extremism. We both want to see a peace conference and a transition.
Already, the bulk of President Assad's heavy weaponry comes from Russia, including air defense systems. Now Moscow is threatening to supply even more advanced S-300 anti-aircraft missiles to protect Syrian forces against potential foreign air attacks. And on all sides, neighbours are being drawn in. From Lebanon, Hezbollah fighters reinforce Assad's troops. More Shia fighters and arms come from Iran and possibly Iraq too. The rebels so far rely on arms from Sunni allies in the Gulf. But the United States has placed Patriot missiles in Turkey to the north and now in Jordan to the south. Today, King Abdullah insisted that his country needed to be able to defend itself and confirmed that American Patriot missiles and F-16 fighter jets would remain in Jordan after this month's joint military exercises. G8 summits are supposed to bring together some of the world's most powerful leaders in a club of like-minded values and interests. But Syria blasts a huge hole in that. Instead, it's a face-off between Russia and the West over a conflict where they're poised to arm opposite sides. The only comfort is that unlike in the dangerous old days of the Cold War, they are prepared to get together in this remote spot to discuss it. Bridget Kendall, BBC News, at the G8 Loch Earn Summit in Northern Ireland.